You don't need to be here on this conversation. Again, I'm sorry. This whole experience, I was planning on a new beginning and something new, and I cannot believe that we can't just put this issue to rest. It always has to be something. It always has to be something. Well, I'm disappointed. I thought that we would start anew, and we would have a new type of relationship. But I can assure you that around that time in May, things are gonna look different. Things are gonna look different. I promise. I promise that when you come back, you will not be disappointed. When you come back, it'll look like how it looked to you when you first came here way back in June. Now that I can fully put this case to bed and, well, put it in a grave, cremate, the very person who's causing this issue. So, I'm serious that, I just don't want you to bring it up again, okay, seriously, because I'm sick and tired of hearing it from you. I really, really am. I could not stand to hear you talk about it again, okay, and the reason why is because I don't want that. I personally do not feel in the type of expressing sort of, feeling of the heart when it comes to, you right now. And I just don't want, just a virus to go from one person to another person, and then, and I have to bring this up to my assistant. I do not want that. Okay, so now I think that it's a good opportunity for you now to go pack things up and you can leave, and then I'll see you in May. Okay, just just I can understand how you feel, and maybe there have been moments where I was unreasonable, but suffice that to say, in putting that aside, that that we all do things, but again, you cannot judge people on what they say or what they do. You judge them for who they are, and I am not the type of person that treats people like that and does things like that. I'm not the type of person. But you know what? You just did not know, what it was like through my eyes. And you did, but you're not in my skin, so you don't know. Okay, so and I vouch that the next time that the issue was brought up, and if you would bring it up anyway, then then you would just leave. If you brought it up or somebody else brought it up. So yeah, perfect timing. I guess this gives you the little exit slip for you to leave now. Okay, so you can pack your stuff up, and I will see you in May. You're coming on the 10th, right? Yeah, through the 16th. Okay, that'll be good. Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. I look forward to seeing you then. Have a wonderful time just, doing certain things, living your life. Daniel. Honestly. Okay. Okay. Now, I would jump to it and say that you're lying and that you're making stuff up, but I'm not going to do that because I know you well enough that you do not lie and that you tell the truth. And I know and I can trust that you're telling me the truth. I can't believe that we're going to be caught when we do that. I cannot believe that she would fraternize and she would welcome somebody who I cannot stand. Again, this most manipulating, pathetical person I've ever met in my whole entire life encountered. If you come across somebody who acts like they're in charge and they're, acting like a wannabe, putting on the sketchy, oh, I know so much, and, you're not the teacher, you don't know your place, then those are not the people to trust and go about liking. Yeah. So yeah, and rot and be miserable and have a miserable life and time. But I just put up with it for too long, and I'm not gonna cater to anybody who is like that. I'm not gonna do that. And I know that you could invite anybody to your Minton, but as a Minton guest, absolutely not. I can't believe that. And you know what? I don't think that she knew what she was getting herself into. I don't think that she knew what she was getting herself into. She was clearly did not have any knowledge of it and thought way too much positively about it, but it's going to hit her in the chest really, really hard. I can tell you that much. Well, I've never called anybody and nobody in my whole entire life, but he is a nobody. He is no one. He has absolutely nothing to do with me. And for the life of me, I shouldn't even have known him in the first place. I do not understand why it is 2021, early season, the 1st of April, and we're still talking about this. Like, honestly, I just want you to let it go. Well, she did wrong, and she should be ashamed of herself for that. And I would go over and give her a piece of my mind. I can't believe that she would be just so, just go so low to do something like that. Honestly. And I don't think that I was disrespectful. Was I disrespectful? There's a difference between disrespectful and addressing something and being mad at somebody and being blunt and direct, and that is what I was doing. I was only saying things that I felt and things that were true. Well, I am not a person who bends over backwards for pimples that grow on my skin that I have to pad and pad and pad until I get rid of them. I am not a person who wastes opportunities, wastes my breath and energy and time on those people when I could have spoken truth and gotten my way. And that is what I did. I'm not going to be that type of person that's going to be all fake. Oh, yeah, so nice. Of course you can. I'm not going to be that person. Because that is no way to live your life if you're not truthful. If you are not, you don't do something with feeling. Well, I guess that he's going to have to walk back with his tail between his legs to remember Cochran's dimension. Well, you know what? If he, just I don't want to be bothered, and if anything, he should not be exposed and put out in the public eye for, naked eyes to see. What that was the last time I'm ever gonna see that Russian Tsar face in my whole entire life. If I do, then it's likely that I see it and then I turn and look and I don't see it anymore. It's completely destroyed so that I do not have to look at it anymore. Somebody hasn't proven themselves worthy. And I don't mean what you think that I mean by that. But just to be a congenial, good, decent person. Really. Yeah, that's called a facade that some people put on. There were all kinds of people out there with criminal records of being serial killers. It is serious. I could have called the cops on him if he did not leave my house. I could have done that. I could have called the cops if he, remained standing there, and he could have been taken to the police station and been questioned, and probably could have been put in jail for manipulation of other people for your own gain. He's young. And at that age, there's a lot of dangerous people in the world at that age. And as unfortunate as it is, he might be one of those people that's hiding it. And I know that sounds like it's preposterous. But there are people like that in the world, and you need to be careful. You need to be careful. There was a really, really good teacher friend that he victimized, and she was, just she thought, oh, it would go great, and then, and she didn't show it, but whether she wants to admit it or not, she'll live to regret it. She will live to regret it. She thought, oh, they would make a good team and it would be a wonderful experience. Well, she doesn't want to tell him that, obviously, and show them that. But that's how she felt about it. I don't normally get in somebody's face like I did. But, again, somebody had to take care of it and I took care of it. It is despicable. by, just crawling back and, I know what he was trying to do, and he will not get away with it. I could do something really, really bad and really extreme. The next time that he would show up, uninvited, unannounced, just on his own, or even if it is by another of the Menton leaders, we have a team, and I will not have any of the Menton leaders going against that team. It was a serious situation, Daniel. It's like if you were there, then you would have known. It's like what I had to do was I had to, it's like he was standing there, and it's like actually, there were not security people there. I had to go, my bare hands, running as quick as possible before he got in there and before any of my fine, important people would associate with him. I had to go super, super quick. And I had to push and push and push until the security would come out of their offices because they were on the phone talking to very, very important people. I had to try and find all kinds of different ways to get them to get out there. And eventually, I did, and they took me seriously. And I told them very, very bluntly and seriously, get rid of him right now. It's like I meant business, and there was no backing down. And, I had to kind of push them into it. And I said, he's a nobody, and he is somewhere where he doesn't belong. And yeah, it's just, I kind of explained the whole kit and caboodle of it. And then he was walking out, very, very mad. And there had to be a couple people to deal with it and take care of it because I would not have them hear it. It was a serious situation. Somebody had to put their hand over his mouth to get him to stop talking. And I remember getting up really close and saying, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And then I walked back in, very, very composed and collective. And, just then there were people asking me questions about it, and I told them it was just nothing but someone I had to deal with. I also did everything they could so that they could forget about it and they could just stop talking about it, because I would not hear about it. It was very, very bad for my reputation as an Menton leader. It was horrible, the situation. I have never been embarrassed like that in my life. Now, I don't know if this is playing devil's advocate or not, Daniel, but if my 5th grade teacher were to walk in there, it would probably be a different experience. She would come in, I would go over, and then I would have a heart-to-heart conversation, get to know her again, and reconnect, and it'd be completely different. It would probably be very, very enlightening. That would be the last thing that I would do. Even if it was somebody who I just hate. Well, not hate, but just from what I know a grudge on. You just don't do that to people. But you do that to people if they're dangerous. And he was dangerous. You have no idea what kind of a calculating, just beyond person that he was. She is not a dangerous individual at all. He was a dangerous individual. He was a dangerous individual. He was. And that's the truth of it. That's the blunt truth of it. All I can say is I took the trash out. And I'm glad I took the trash out. Well, I know that it might sound that way, but it's just the truth of it. I did take the trash out. Trash does not linger in your house. It has to be taken out and recycled. And thrown in the garbage cans. So I just want to tell you that this is the last time I want to hear about this issue. This is the last time that I want to hear about it. Okay? Please. If you have any important news or anything like that, I want you to save it. Please and thank you. If I would come across that person, the very first thing that I do, even if it is in the middle of the street, even if it's just in a park, not around my mentor, not around my family, at all, not anywhere, no matter where it might be, the cops will come and he'll be taken away to the police station, and it will be taken care of the way that it should be taken care of. I'm not a cop. I don't have the experience and the license, and you know, I don't get paid to be a cop. But in that case, I felt like the bigger person probably had to be the authority and be the cop, because he had no idea how stubborn those security guards were. They saw nothing wrong, but no. I had to push them so hard that I would not let them off the hook unless they did this one thing, and then I would leave them alone. That's how serious it was. And maybe that's a bad thing to do. But that's what needed to be done at that moment, and that was the right and the practical thing to do. Okay? So I don't think that I need to talk about it anymore. I need to defend myself anymore about it. If you come up, you get to know him, you're gonna be put off the position and take a break. I made it clear to everybody. Well, certain people. Depends on who you are. But yeah, my students, my head curators, everybody, I don't want them here if I don't feel like having them here. Okay? So if you come across them again, you need to tell me. And then you will leave. But you need to tell me. Don't keep a secret from me. And don't hide it in. Be truthful. Whatever secret that you might be keeping from me, I don't want you to keep any secrets. If it would happen again. If it would happen again. Okay? So we're done. I want to go over do other things because I'm wasting my time right now talking about this. And I think that you're wasting your time also. Okay? So, thank you.